Today I am going to present a seminar on cardiac surgery under thoracic epidural anesthesia. I am myself Dr. Amit Taluja, Assistant Professor in Anesthesia, Cardiac Anesthesia Department, UN Mehta Institute of Cardiology and Research Center. To start with, there are three anesthetic techniques for any cardiac surgery. One is general anesthesia, second is general anesthesia with thoracic epidural anesthesia, or it can be done only under high thoracic epidural anesthesia. To start with the history, awake cardiac surgery was first described by Karagoz and colleagues in 2000 for CABG without GA using only thoracic epidural anesthesia. Physiological changes occurs after thoracic epidural anesthesia are hypotension resulting from sympathetic blockage, decreased cardiac output due to decreased heart rate and decreased contractility, decreased systemic vascular resistance. Anatomical changes in thoracic spine. This thoracic spine consists of 12 vertebral bodies forming with the posterior longitudinal ligament, the anterior aspect of the neural arch, the anterolateral border is formed by pedicles and posterolateral border is formed by lamina and ligamentum flavum. The spinous processes are aligned steeply in the high and mid thoracic regions but becomes less acutely inclined in the low thoracic region. So midline approach is possible in low thoracic region while not possible in high and mid thoracic region. First prominent spine in the back below neck is C7. So to know the landmark in the to do the procedure, we take it as a landmark as C7, then we palpate below and come to the T3 T4 level. Myocardium and coronary vasculature are densely innervated by sympathetic nerve fibers that arise from T1 to T5. Thoracic epidural anesthesia blocks these cardiac sympathetic nerve fibers and causes coronary vasodilatation. So it decreases the angina symptoms. So that's why it's helpful. Advantages of high thoracic epidural anesthesia are during cardiac surgery, it promotes sympathectomy and attenuates the stress response to surgery. Thoracic epidural anesthesia may also enhance coronary perfusion, therefore improve myocardial oxygen balance and reduces the incidence of tachyarrhythmias and perioperative myocardial infarction. Moreover, the excellent analgesia that is associated with thoracic epidural anesthesia facilitates the fast tracking due to early extubation due to pain relief, and also it prevents the respiratory complication of long-term intubation. An epidural catheter is inserted at the level of T3 T4 intervertebral space and advanced 4 cm in the attempt to reach at the level of T1 vertebral body, either one day prior to the day of surgery or on the same day in the preoperative room. This diagram showing how we approach to the epidural space. On the day of surgery, local anesthetics were delivered via catheter to provide a level of epidural block which is starting from C6 to T8 or T10. Drug used are 0.5% bupivacaine or 0.5% ropivacaine. For additional analgesia, we can add in it fentanyl, tramadol. We can even add dexmedetomidine in this combination. Two approaches exist for thoracic epidural space. One is midline approach, second is paramedian approach. The midline approach is not difficult in the low thoracic region, but for cardiac surgery we use higher approach, so it is done by paramedian approach. Our preference is to use paramedian approach as the bony lamina of the vertebra below it acts as a depth finder and there is definite rubbery feel as the Tuohy needle passes from the bony lamina to the ligamentum flavum. The thoracic epidural space is identified by two methods. One is loss of resistance to saline or air or hanging trop technique. This is the diagram showing how paramedian approach is used. For saphenous vein harvesting, CA in CABG, local anesthetic infiltration like femoral block or lumbar subarachnoid block is given. With thoracic epidural anesthesia, supplemental sedation like low dose propofol infusion or low dose dexmedetomidine infusion is offered to the patient. There are some disadvantages of these procedures. We'll discuss about it later on. First, we go for one scenario of cardiac surgery in our setup. Like one 45 years male is posted for a CABG case, and he is having only single vessel disease. There is 99%, 98% blockage in LAD. So he is planned to go for a CABG, and we are going to do a single graft, that is by left internal memory artery to LAD. So he was assessed in the pre-operative time, and he was found to have hypertension, normal ejection fraction. So he was planned for CABG in 2 days. So we have considered him for CABG, and for thoracic epidural anesthesia, we first of all we took the consent from the patient for awake cardiac surgery, and in that case patient got ready for the awake surgery. Then in the pre-operative room, we insert the 16 gauge cannula, venous cannula. Then we insert the 20 gauge radial line. Then we insert the epidural catheter via Tuhoi needle in the pre-operative room only. We make the patient sit in the cot in the pre-operative room. Then under following aseptic precautions, we insert the thoracic epidural and at the level of T3 T4 intervertebral space, and we advance the catheter up to T1 level so that we can go ahead with the surgery. In the pre-operative room, we keep on some monitoring available, and we gave the patient 2% of the lignocaine 2 ml as a check dose, so that patient is not having any hypotension, and we found out that patient is, catheter is in the epidural space and not in the subarachnoid space. Then after taking the patient in the operation theatre, we connect the ECG monitoring, we connect the arterial monitoring, we make the saturation monitoring via the nasal oxygen mask. We also connect the EtCO2 monitoring to the patient. After in the local anesthesia, we insert the femoral artery catheter as well as subclavian line or interjugular line to the 3 lumens for CVP line. Then we considered him for the surgery, and we give the bolus of around 8 to 10 ml of the 0.5% bupivacaine with fentanyl 50 microgram in the as a induction dose to the patient. Even with the patient, this we give patient 2 mg of midazolam, and we start with the propofol low dose infusion to the patient, and we check for the dermatomal level of the block. It is from C7 to T10 level, it is achieved. Under all aseptic precautions, patient is painting and draping done. First of all, we start with the patient is by the surgeon, it bilateral thoracic drain is inserted, left side thoracic intercostal drain is inserted to avoid the pneumothorax if inadvertent pleura is opened up. So for safety purpose, under local anesthesia, surgeon insert the left intercostal drain, and Lima harvesting is done after normal mid sternotomy incision is done and sternum is opened up. There is no pain to the patient, and Lima is harvested extrapleurally, and then after giving the position to the heart, grafting is done normally by Lima to LAD. Graft is done, and patient is not having hypotension, and hypotension is treated by the low dose of phenylephrine in the patient. Even patient is given propofol infusion for low maintenance dose of sedation, so there is no pain, and patient was conscious throughout the surgery. After closing the sternum and skin, normal draping is applied, and in the low dose of the maintenance dose 0.125% bupivacaine is started at 2 to 4 ml per hour in the for the perioperative, post-operative analgesia to the patient, and patient is shifted to the post-operative recovery room. Thus, a patient is done awake surgery in our setup. Now coming to the some of the disadvantages of this procedure, like inadequate or spotty analgesia, nerve or spinal cord injury by the Tuhoi needle, back pain after the procedure, local infection or the dreaded complication is epidural abscess. But all these are decreased by the proper following the proper technique, aseptic precautions, inadvertent subarachnoid injection, respiratory arrest by higher level, and even spinal cord compression from the epidural hematoma, which can lead to the paraplegia to the patient. To come to the conclusion, although thoracic epidural anesthesia can be performed for the patients undergoing CABG, outcome parameters such as morbidity and mortality rates are minimally affected. This makes the risk benefit ratio for thoracic epidural anesthesia very questionable. Thank you.